Hey, what's going on? Sean here. Today we got another interview, and we're back after 5 months, 6 months, and I'm here with Feltz Media. He is a TikTok personality, content creator, and big fan of his work. So, yeah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Scott. I go by Feltz Media on the socials. Yeah, I make content. I guess I'm a content creator. I never really look at myself that way, but I guess that's what it is. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, honestly, I feel that though. Like, I never consider myself like a content creator. Like, I just like kind of put it out there because I like doing it. It's a lot of
Right,
fun.
right.
Yeah, and it's like something like that I love doing, and it could potentially set me up for something in the future, like with like film or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I mean, would you like to explain real quick what you do on like TikTok or just like anything, really?
Yeah, so I essentially what I do is I make videos where the majority of my content, I should say, I'll make videos where I'll cut myself into a movie scene using green screen, um, and just sort of play along as if I was a background character that nobody ever really sees. Just pointing out the obvious bits in movies. The big ones are High School Musical. I mean, those are easy. With
Mm.
you got Troy Bolton out there dancing on a golf course, like nothing's happening. Surely there's a guy out there playing golf. Yeah, so I just started doing that. That was sort of the majority of my content. I mean, yeah. Other than that, I do a lot of short films and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
But
Like, what kind of short films have you like done? Like, is it like have you like submitted them to like movie festivals and stuff?
yeah, I have. I haven't done much of that recently, but before the whole TikTok thing, that's the majority of what I was doing was making short films, starring in them, directing them, helping other people's. It's just such a blast, and it went really well. I think the last one that I did was 2020 or 2021, late 2020. So yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
So like that was like
But
during the pandemic and stuff
yeah, it was
too.
absolutely during the pandemic. And the funny thing was, it was about sort of the pandemic.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, most of the ones that I do are sort of comedic. That's always been my forte. But this one in particular was more, drama based reality, what people are going through with the pandemic.
Hmm.
And yeah, I submit all into film festivals. That one I think was in the Sunshine City Film Festival
Yo, that's dope.
in St. Petersburg. Yeah, absolutely. So that's always a blast. I mean, that's the goal, is always to get into more and more.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, put yourself out there. If you don't put yourself out
Yeah,
there, then what are you really doing? So
absolutely.
what
Yeah.
what, what made you get into acting? Like, is there?
That's a great question. I have an answer. It's a weird one, but I have an
All
answer. So when
right.
I was young, right, me and my cousins, we lived right next to each other, and they were like a few years younger than me. And I mean, we just always hung out.
Mm.
We weren't on the internet. I lived with my grandmother, and we had dial up. So we weren't playing on the internet. We were out, doing whatever we could. And so that fan just kicked on. Can you
No,
hear that?
no,
Okay,
you're
good.
good.
All
You're all
right.
good.
So one day we got bored, and I went inside and I stole my grandmother's digital camera, and I was like, guys, just trust me on this. All right, we're gonna do this. And they had no idea what we were doing, but
Hmm.
I go out there, and essentially all we did was we filmed ourselves like as cops and robbers. There's only three of us, so we played both roles, right? So we just changed clothes,
Hmm.
and the whole thing was just us chasing each other in like a really funny way. And it was a silent film because the dialogue was over our heads at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, pretty much not
Um,
there.
but we made it, and I went in and I was on Windows Movie Maker, and I was cutting it all up, and it was just for like family and friends and for us to watch back and do.
Hmm.
And then it became funny because all family was watching, and they're like, wait a minute, this is actually like has a story to it. Like, this is not just you guys, recording yourselves. This is weirdly good. Um, and so then I went to college and found a film club, And it just took off from there. I
That's
realized,
all you need.
yeah, I realized, wow, what I was doing as a kid just for fun is something that I can do and be good at, from
I,
there on. So yeah.
honestly, that's like I having no like internet sometimes, just going outside and just kind of having fun, because like I'm the same with my cousin. Like he's a few years younger than me too, and we always hang out even to this day. I mean, he's not
Yeah.
in the state anymore, but we still hang out like online and stuff. But that's what we did as well. We filmed each other like doing like we had like these like freaking like Minecraft stories, just doing
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. Like I totally get where you're coming from with that, and it's something that kind of sparks in you. You're like, wow, like this is something I like to do. Then going to like college and surrounding yourself with those type of people, they inspire you in a weird way as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was incredibly inspiring. And the funny thing was, when I got to college and when I started doing it like for real,
Mm.
um, it only got better from there, because my freshman year, when I found that club and everything, I realized the rules, and the rules were like, hey, you can rent this equipment out for the weekend, right?
Whoa.
Oh yeah, college. That's the one thing that I love about college, was I could take, this high dollar equipment, rent it out, and use it. And I was like, what? That seems
That's
okay.
like
Loophole. I'll take
that's
that.
overpowered.
Absolutely. The funny thing was, though, you were limited based on what grade you were, what, year you were.
Yeah.
And so the first one I did, I was like, well, I'm shooting for the stars. Are you kidding me? So I went and got a buddy that was a senior. And I was like, hey, man, I can't rent this camera out, but you can. Can you rent it out and let me use it? And, I probably shouldn't have said that. But
I mean,
yeah, I rented out the highest dollar camera you could get. It was, oh, gosh, I don't remember what it was. But I rented it out. And the first thing I did was I called up a friend of mine from high school. And he was a rapper on SoundCloud, just doing his thing. And I was like, hey, man, give me your best song and we'll go out on a weekend and make a music video from it. Just me, the camera, and you just doing whatever. And I don't think I charged him for it, because I was like, I have nothing to show you that'll be good other than what's in my head.
That's probably like the best thing that you could do. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good.
Like that's probably like the best thing you could do. Like you're hooking up a friend. You're like, oh, I got you, and then your friend hooked you with that camera, so you kind of like giving back. And you're
Absolutely.
like, I got this like cool idea, and I can just film you doing it and everything.
Yeah. So I went out, I took it, and we filmed it, and it I loved it, but to this day I regret what came from it, because I did that, and I edited it all together, and it was like the first real thing I did, aside from the little crazy stuff with the digital camera. And it ended up getting into the let me say this right, World Music and Independent Film Festival.
Wow.
In Florida. Yeah. And it was nominated for 2 awards. Yeah. Best cinematography, best cinematography in a music video, and best overall music video. It didn't win any of them.
Okay.
I was just nominated, but that was enough for me.
Not being nominated.
Oh, right. They invited me on the cruise and everything. And I was like, wow, I'm a freshman. And I just took a camera and was like, let's do something. But the funny thing about it was, the reason I said I regret what came of this, because that was incredible. Right. But that set a standard that you didn't have to meet every time. And that was the first thing I did. So it was like, man, that's really, I set the bar pretty high for myself.
You're like, damn it, now I gotta like one up myself every single time.
Right. I gotta go World Music and Independent Film Festival every time. Like, that's not happening.
Always think it's like the first one. You're like, that's great, but also for my own like work, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. And if it was like 2 or 3, I'd have been like, okay, I worked up to it. I just went full force. Now, granted, nothing I did after that quite matched that level, I don't think. I think mostly because I was thinking in my head, I'm trying to. But yeah, as soon as I did that, that told me in my head, okay, this is what I'm doing with the rest of my life. Whatever it be, wherever it be, however I'm doing it, this is what I'm doing, is film, video production, anything like that.
I like that. That's like a great mindset to have. Just like, exactly what you want to do. Like,
yeah.
I'm still in between like, I want to do, like, I'm a college student as well, but like, I was in computers, and I'm in like, and now I'm in media because that's what I really wanted to
Mhm.
do. So that's a great mindset to have, like to actually like just know and just pretty much you know where to go.
Yeah.
Now, so what's your like going back to your TikTok? Do you have
Mhm.
a favorite TikTok you made, or like your best one that you think you did?
Man. So yeah, I have two that come to mind when you say that. My favorite would be my one of my old roommates, his sister had a kid, like
Mm.
4 years old, adopted kid. And I asked her, I was babysitting for him for one time, and I was like, hey, it's a weird question, but can I make a TikTok video with him? And she's like, yeah, go for it. Who cares? And so I did a video with him. It was oh, what's the movie with Eddie Murphy? Where they're daddy daycare, I think it was.
Ooh, I don't.
Where they're all dads and they start a daycare. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And essentially I made a video with him, but it was so much fun because I wouldn't say it was my best video,
Mm.
but it was so much fun because he is such a trip to work with. I posted bloopers after it because everything I would say, he'd parakeet back to me, and that one was a blast.
That's awesome.
I would say the one that I'm the most happy with. I don't know what my best one is. I guess that's up for the audience.
Yeah, it's interpretation stuff.
Yeah. The one that I like the most, or that I'm most happy about, was probably The Greatest Showman.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's
the
a really
one
good
with the bar,
Mhm.
where they're singing Zach and Hugh Jackman, and I'm just trying to get a drink. That one, I think, was the one that sort of turned the page for me, because I think I had maybe 10,000 followers at that point. So it was like sort of okay, people enjoy this. That one was the first one that got over 100,000 views. I think it stopped at just under 500,000. And that was like mind blowing to me at the time. Was like, whoa, like, okay, I hit a home run there.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I gotta keep doing this.
Yeah, and so that one really turned the page and was like, all right, I'm gonna keep going.
TikTok likes you in the algorithm. Like I could definitely tell that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like whenever you have like one of those videos that breaks 100K, you're like, okay, I gotta either one up this or do something very similar to it. And then you keep doing that, and you're like, oh, I found my rhythm. I want to keep
absolutely.
doing it. I'd have to say my favorite one from you is probably the Teen Beach Movie one. That's always been one of my favorite Disney Channel movies. So when I saw you do one, I'm like, okay, this is pretty funny.
Which one? Because I just did one yesterday.
Oh, you did one yesterday? I didn't see that one.
I did, yeah.
Oh,
I just did one.
The irony.
Right. I was like, man, that was the one I did yesterday. That's crazy.
I think it was the one where she was falling off the stage.
Okay, yeah.
That was the one. That I thought was pretty funny. So I think that's what made me like a huge fan. So it's
nice.
So well, I already answered this question. I have some like questions already here.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like movie that you just love rewatching, or just in general?
That's a good question, and I feel like people ask me this question all the time, and I don't know the answer. I think my favorite movie. I really love the movie The Place Beyond the Pines with Ryan Gosling. I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling. It was I think it just resonated with me. It was very like, okay, this is real life, and it was just sort of relatable in a way. If you watch the movie and you hear me say it was relatable, be cautious. It was relatable in a way.
Relatable to
you. Right. I think that would be the one. It just hit me in like a real way. Other than that, I mean, I'm again big fan of Ryan Gosling. I really liked La La Land.
I heard that's really good.
Yeah. I haven't found a way to make it. I think I made one video with that very early on. I haven't found a scene to do with that yet, but I really like La La Land. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can kind of see like how it could be kind of hard to find like, oh, where I can insert myself into like here in this
Yeah,
situation, because it's like, okay, we can't have the scene be too short or too long.
right, right.
Yeah, because you want to get everything in.
You do. It's a lot. A lot. I get a lot of people like, that will jokingly get mad at me because I'll do songs like from High School Musical and from other stuff, and I mean, I got to cut parts of it because the
Oh, you
song
have to.
is like
Yeah.
3 minutes long, and I'm adding to it, so I'll cut down, and they're like, "Man, you cut out the best part of the song,"
Like
and I'm like, "I know. I'm sorry.
I can't help it. I
I
need to
know.
meet a
Like,
certain criteria
yeah."
here.
I'm thinking you're not gonna watch a 4 minute video.
Oh
I
no,
promise you,
no.
you won't.
Yeah, people's attention spans these days are just like, okay, 30 maybe to a minute, and that's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's also like Disney is also like a big thing. It's just like that's like very weird place. Like, oh, you might
Hmm.
like some stuff here, or you might piss off a
Yeah.
lot of people. It's like, I don't
It's a
know.
fine line to ride. Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Fine line. Yeah. So I'm assuming your favorite actor is Ryan Gosling, or do you have like a?
I would say so. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling. I don't know. Gosh, I don't really think about it too much.
Hmm,
Um, yeah, I would say that just because I'm thinking in my head and I don't have anybody. I'm sure there's somebody that I'm a big fan
yeah.
of that I'm just
You
blanking
just
on.
don't
But
think of. You're
I'm a
like,
huge fan of Amy Adams.
she's awesome.
Um, she is awesome. She's a great actress, and I really like a lot of the movies she's in.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of because a lot of them nowadays are big, that you see everywhere, big blockbuster movies.
Yeah, Marvel,
Um,
DC, all that. You're just
yeah, yeah,
like,
that sort of floods the movie
hmm,
market, and I think hers. I mean, she was in Superman, obviously,
yeah.
but I mean, recently, there was, well, I say recently, within 10 years, like The Arrival with
Oh yeah,
Jeremy
she was
Renner. I
great in
mean,
that.
yeah,
Oh my god,
absolutely.
yeah. I totally forgot that movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I just love those. So yeah.
Yeah, it like even speaking of like the movie marketing, like I think that's why I think the new Top Gun did so good because it
Mhm.
wasn't like Marvel or anything like superhero. It was just like
Yeah,
one of those
yeah,
like classic block, but like those movies, and you're just like,
yeah,
oh, I could sit back and just have fun with it and like not really think about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that movie twice.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. So do you have like a dream like actor that you want to work with like maybe possibly one day?
That's a good question. I guess Ryan Gosling. I'm trying to think of
No,
younger
you're good. You're
people.
good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of younger people that
Mm,
would be. Mm. No, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of people out there that are really grinding to perfect their craft,
hmm.
and I think that should be rewarded.
I
Um,
agree. I 100% agree.
good talent is hard to notice um, without without pushing yourself to do
Hmm.
something with it. And so the people that have the talent and are pushing themselves, I feel like they're going to take over the world. So anybody like that with that mindset,
Hmm.
I'm all for it.
And so I love that. And to, like to add to that, like if someone who has like a good story, they want to
Hmm.
tell it, and like storytellers, like they're
Yeah,
some of the best like writers out there. And like even some even go on to like YouTube and stuff, and they write phenomenal stories on YouTube, and like they like do like their stuff on YouTube and everything, or acting, and just like man, like these guys can literally be actors and
yeah.
writers out there. But yeah, it's really hard. It is hard to make it in this sort of business type thing.
It is. People, back in the day before social media saturated a lot of things,
Hmm.
before Marvel saturated a lot of things. Nothing against Marvel,
Oh yeah,
great
nothing. I love
movies.
Marvel. Yeah.
But it's very, very saturated now.
Mm.
I when I was in college, I used to go to the local theater, and not like the big one in the mall that showed blockbuster movies, like
Mm.
the small one that was probably going out of business soon, that would show
Yeah.
like independent films. They would
Mm.
show like the Golden Globe nominees. We'd get the little ticket book, me and my friends, we'd go to the coffee shop, and then we'd go see the movie. and they'd have like days where they'd show like 5 of the nominees for short documentaries.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like there's so much out there that you don't see
Mm-hmm.
because it's so hard to get noticed. I mean, obviously those work because they're in the Golden Globes, but
Yeah.
even then, a lot of people look at like, okay, the Golden Globes and these movies and that movie and the small stuff. You haven't seen any of them.
Exactly.
It's not out there. The right people are seeing them and the people at film festivals are seeing them, but there's so many good stories out there that you don't get to see because they're not shoved in your face on a streaming service.
Or they're not like trending on Twitter, or like there's not a
Right.
hashtag with those like little emojis
Yeah.
or whatever next to them.
So it's very hard for people in the film
Mhm.
industry to do that and to take that route. But I think that what you get from it is so many good stories, and
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's also you have to respect, like, you have the film, like, a lot of stuff goes into making these things, and I respect people who make these so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just like, the directors, the actors, like the producers, like everyone, like even the people who do the score, like the composers, like they're
Yeah.
doing that just for like a movie like that, and
Yeah.
it's perfect.
It is.
It is really hard to also capture people's attention these days as well with like movies, because it's not, like I said, nothing against Marvel or anything, but like it's not like with a superhero or anything. People can be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that.
Well, on top of that too, people's attention span is so short. I mean,
Mhm.
TikTok, I've
Yeah.
realized in doing experiments on TikTok to figure out what works and what doesn't. If I don't show my face in the first 2 seconds, then they're not going to watch that video because they see it and they go, oh, that's just a movie scene.
Yeah.
It's got to be quick. You got to show me that you're doing something different. So for movies, you got to capture their attention
Exactly.
really fast or you're not going to get it.
Exactly.
It's just everyone's attention span is short.
It's like, yeah, start with like an action scene in the movie, or else you're not gonna capture their attention. Or something like huge happens in the beginning. I find it with like my TikToks and stuff. Like if my TikToks aren't short, because I post just like gaming ones, just like clips from my videos and everything.
Yeah.
If they aren't short, then people are not gonna like care. They're just scroll past that.
Yeah.
But if they're short, they're like 5-6 seconds. Like, oh, okay, cool, this is funny, whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing with YouTube Shorts. If the shorts on YouTube are literally like 15 seconds, they're not gonna watch it. But 10 seconds or less, people will be like, oh, okay, cool, this is fine, yeah. But that's pretty much that there. So do you have like a going off of like the movie stuff? Do you have like a favorite TV show like that you love, just like, or you recently watched a show, or that you're just like, man, this is like, it stuck with you?
I like Stranger Things. That's pretty mainstream of me, but that was wonderful. I loved. This is not new in any way, but I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan.
Breaking Bad.
I mean, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, you have to take the time to watch it.
I have that.
Yeah. Other than that, no, I don't know. I try and when I'm not working, I'm trying to find other ways to be productive with my time. So I don't find myself watching much,
same thing with me.
TV a lot now.
Yeah.
Just because I'm thinking, and this is not necessarily true, but I'm thinking, God, I need to be doing something better with my time. Even if I'm like on YouTube, a lot of people tell me, hey, like I want to get started on YouTube, or I want to start doing this, or I want to start gaming and showing this content. That's great. But they'll say, I'll find myself in this YouTube rabbit hole where I'm just watching YouTube over and over, laying on my couch. And I'm like, I do that too. Like, that's not a problem.
That's normal.
Yeah. But I'm telling them, like, when I find myself doing it, right, I'm sitting there just scrolling through YouTube, watching videos. I think, okay, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to sit here and be lazy for a minute, I'm going to find a way to make it productive. So like, if I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm going to watch videos that I can turn into a video on TikTok, or look for ways to make content, or
ideas.
Look for other things that'll inspire me. Short films. They're all over YouTube. That gave me an idea. Let me write that down. Finding ways to make your lazy productive.
Honestly, I do that when I watch YouTube, like while my video is like rendering or whatever. It's like, okay, well, this is like getting to be an actual
Yeah,
video.
yeah,
So, because then after that's done, I'm like, okay, cool. I could just go post it to YouTube, make the thumbnail, everything.
yeah,
Yeah, I do feel like that because like I'm like, oh damn, I'm wasting my time here. I need to do
yeah.
something, or I'm gonna go insane. So
Right.
yeah, it's like also with like streaming and stuff. Like if I'm not streaming or anything, I'm just like, what am I doing? I gotta do
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
You got to be moving. You got to be, and that's another thing too that I think is important with people on TikTok. Um, everybody wants to get that video that hits 1 million views, whatever it is,
100%.
for whatever reason.
Mm.
But then you realize you want it, and then you get it, and then you realize I didn't really want this. Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily what I wanted, because then there's a lot of ways to interpret videos. If you post a video with a baby crying,
Mm.
everybody's going to come at you now because you obviously are a
Yeah.
bad parent. Like, there's so many ways to interpret things, so everybody wants that. And then for the people that are out there grinding, like, I want to be something. I want to be a creator. I want to
Mm.
do more. Okay, that's great. But why are you doing it? Is it because
Yeah.
you enjoy it? Is it something you enjoy? Because if it's not, you got to find a way to make it what you enjoy. Because everybody wants to be, everybody wants 1 million followers. But
Of
then
course.
the joy of having that wears off very fast.
It really does, and I know for experience like my goal on Twitch was like 5,000. Like I'm so thankful for that. That's amazing
Yeah.
and everything. But once I got that, I'm like, okay, because I thought, oh, it's just gonna go up from here. But
Yeah.
there's going to be those days where it's just just kind of just there and
Yeah.
it's slow, and everything. And it's like when people say like, oh, I'm of course thankful for it, but just like I feel like I could be doing better. Like you have like one bad
Yeah.
stream, you're like, what did I do wrong, and what could I do to fix that?
Right. One, two, if you're not enjoying it, like if it's not,
Mhm.
if you're not doing it for yourself or the enjoyment of doing it, if you just go out and you're like, okay, this is what people want to see, this is what I'm going to make. Well, if you do that, you'll get the joy of a bunch of views. That'll die away.
Yeah.
Then what are you left with? A task. You're like, now I have to keep doing this
Mhm.
because it's what people want to see. It's not, you can't ride the wave of attention for so long.
You can't do that to yourself.
Really enjoy what you're doing. Yeah.
It affects you mentally at some point.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
whoa.
So if you're just at a few, however many followers, it's like, well, I'm enjoying doing it, and those people will find me if I keep doing it and enjoying it. So and that's something that I struggled with at one point, was like, okay, what do people want to see more of? Well, what am I doing, and what am I good at? What am I enjoying? Those people will find me.
Yes, and those people are out there right now. Like even if like they haven't found you yet, they will eventually.
Right, right.
That's how the world works. Like when I go back to like Twitch, like I used to just stream like a bunch of games, and like I wasn't happy. And then I started streaming Minecraft because that's my favorite game. I love just kind of chilling. It's one of those games you can just turn your brain off and just play. I started streaming that, and I haven't stopped. I've been streaming for probably about 3 years, just Minecraft, and I just have a lot of fun, a blast, and that's where most of my audience comes from, and I just love that. So that's what you have to do. Like even for the people like watching, like they want to get into streaming or YouTube, do what you want to do. Don't do what's like, oh, if I play this game. Like for example, like Valorant. Like, oh, if you like Valorant, then play Valorant. But if you this will be around 10 minutes. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. But if you like playing Valorant, you like playing Valorant. But if you don't like it, don't play it just because everyone else is playing it.
Yeah.
Just do what you want to do.
Right.
But to end everything off here, do you have any advice for the audience who wants to get into filmmaking or acting or anything?
Yes. It would be that you're not gonna. It all comes with effort. It all comes with consistency, and you're not going to get anywhere with one home run. I mean, you can't hit the lottery and then somebody will, but you can't hit the lottery and then that's it. It's if you're going to build something, if you want to be this big Ryan Gosling actor or Dwayne Johnson actor, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort, and it's going to take time. Like with TikTok, I think I started in January, and this is where I've come from then. It's not just there we go. I'm done. I did it in 2 days. Um, and two, with TikTok, my advice for TikTok specifically would be, you may think, okay, I'm making this really good video, right?
Mm-hmm.
TikTok wants a lot. They want quantity over quality. If you have a quality video, like I'll post a video and think this one is gold. Okay, great. But TikTok might not think so, right? That's fine. Keep going though,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then months down the line, repost it. See if it really is a good video. It'll keep going. But it's about consistency. And with film, it's about putting in the work. Everybody says, well, if I get this money, or if I do this, or if I have this equipment. No, I filmed a documentary with a light from a machine shop that you clip on stuff. And I took wax paper and put over the front of it. And that was like my softbox. And then boom, there's, it doesn't take much. It's just a matter of effort and how bad you want it. And if you have that, you'll get there. That would be my advice. Just keep going. It's people think about it for too long. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, I agree. Like life's too short to like just keep thinking about it. Just got to do it. Yeah,
you just got to go for it.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna find. Everybody says, oh, if someone will find me. No one's gonna find you. They're not just gonna find you. No one, that joke about, I'm playing basketball in the driveway. No scout is going to drive by and be like, this is the guy. It's not going to happen. No one's going to call you up and be like, hey, are you an actor? We need an actor for a movie. You got to go find them.
Exactly.
It's you have to put yourself out there to be seen. You can't just expect it to happen just because you have the talent. If you have the talent, great, but you have to keep putting yourself out there. Because at the end of the day, no one cares.
Exactly.
You make them care. So yeah, it's just a matter of, to go out and do it. It's as simple as that, and be consistent at it. If that's what you want to do, be consistent. If you don't enjoy what you do during the day, if you don't enjoy your job, if you want to be a big actor, if you want to be a film director, right? Whatever time that you're not working, that's the time that you need to be working towards that, because it's not just going to happen overnight. You have to work for it.
I agree. I totally agree with that. It's like you said, if you don't like your day job, or you don't like how like life is going, you can change that. You literally can. You are the right. I like to say you're the writer of your own story.
Yeah.
You just go with it. So,
and I sympathize with people that have difficult situations, right? It's like, it's not that easy.
Yeah, of course.
I get that. You got to make it work though. If that's what you want, I'll say this, I'm usually not transparent with my personal life. I try and keep those separate, but I will say, like, I was in a really bad spot where I used to live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I was not too happy with where I was, what I was doing, and my situation. And I was like, okay, well, something's got to change. I spent all that time not working towards what's next. And then now, I'm living in Atlanta, and I'm doing way more film stuff. I'm very, very busy, but it's all something that I, push myself to work towards and get out of that situation, however I had to do it. So it can be done. It's just a matter of, what do you want? You have to go get it.
That's fantastic advice. Like, I think I personally think that would help out a lot of people. Like,
I hope so.
I think so,
because there's so many people out there that have so much potential. They just don't know it. And I want people to realize, you could take over the world if you wanted to. You
really can.
You got to go do it. You got to go do it.
You could be the next Ryan Gosling, The Rock, Tom Holland. Like, you literally, like,
absolutely
look at all three of those actors right there I just named.
Yeah, and it's never too late either. I mean,
no,
if
never.
You have kids, if you are, working a really tough job, if you're 30s, 40s, that's fine. You can still make it work. It's just a matter of how do you want to. How much do you want it? How do you want to get there? I mean, and this is coming from someone that's young. I'm not in my 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
But it can work. I understand you have responsibilities. You got to go get it. If that's what you want, work towards the life that you want. That's
I love
all
that.
there is to it.
I love that. That's perfect advice. But we're gonna wrap it up here, guys, because Zoom's about to kick us out.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
one, I'll upgrade the Pro. I totally forgot they had that. But yo, thank you, Scott, for doing this interview. Really appreciate that. This was awesome. I love this. But before we go, is there anywhere anything you want to plug real quick before ending?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I like that I'm the first one to be back after,
Hell yeah,
revamping the series.
no
I'm
problem.
excited for that.
Thank you.
Um, no, not much I want to plug, really. I think that if you're following me on TikTok, or if you don't, I mean, TikTok's where most of my
Mhm.
content is right now. I have been very, very busy lately, so it's been not as active as I was before. That's
Mhm.
going to change soon. But I would just say I'm going to be doing a lot more with YouTube, hopefully soon. So if you're following me on TikTok, go over there. I do have some merch hopefully coming out soon, and we'll
Dope.
be doing a giveaway on YouTube. So go follow the YouTube.
Everything would be in the description, by the way. I'm
And
gonna
yeah,
plug it all in
absolutely.
there. Yeah. So
And it's all Felts Media, so it's very easy to find. But yeah,
nope.
no, I don't want to plug too much
No,
because
you're all good.
it's not about me, but it's about what we're doing for the people. The people want joy. That's what I'm here to bring.
Hell yeah. But yeah, if you guys want to go follow him, everything will be in the description below as usual. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, do not forget to like and stuff more. Check out everything in the description below, and we'll talk to you all later. See you guys.